Hello, compadres. How are you today? Check out my Wicked Deeds of Flesh Gradually Melted t-shirt I got. In my last video, I forgot to mention I was wearing a Brodequin Instruments of Torture shirt. Oh, in fact, here it is right here. Yeah, there it is. So before we get into the video, I like to do cool things that I've picked up recently. So I don't know if it's on camera, but Resident Evil first comic. So I got some Wicked action figures. So here is Zombie and Forrest Spire. Forrest is the ex-Stars member that becomes a zombie. This is the reason I bought the collection. I actually had this when I was a kid. Resident Evil Tyrant from the first game. And if you press the button on the back, the blood pumps in there, but I think it's long dried up. But I just love these the cases and the boxes, and the cards are pretty damn nice. And then this one was really cool with the eye. So that's William Birkin. First form or second form, I can't remember. With his little daughter. Wonderful. And then the last one, probably the most popular one these days, Mr. X. Popular because of the Resident Evil 2 remake. So I got a little quick story time about this though, and a kind of crappy eBay seller that part of me wants to return this stuff because this action figure, it was not disclosed to me. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's very yellow. And yellowing's going to happen, but I wouldn't like to know that, and I think it should be reflected in the price. But the thing that really fucks me up is the button has some corrosion on it. Like, what the fuck? That was not in the description or anything. And this guy also, I don't know what's going on with eBay, but apparently there's some type of thing where you don't get paid until it's delivered. So, and my new postman's a dickhead and doesn't fucking leave stuff anymore. So he has to leave these post-it notes. So then I got to wait till the next business day to go pick them up. 2-3 post-it notes in a row I got with these t-shirts and this. Idiotic. And this guy's blowing up my phone. Hey, your package is there. Try and get it. Go pick up your package. Why aren't you picking up your package? Are you going to pick up your package? I'm just like, dude, I've never been hounded so much. Shut the fuck up. I'll pick up my package when I want. He's like, well, I'm trying to get paid. And then I get it. Look at the box. It's fucking destroyed. And I'm just like, dude, what do you like? Just unprofessional conduct. And then I message him. I'm like, dude, this was not disclosed to me. I don't know how you want to handle this. You want me to return this? You want to give me a partial refund, or should I just do a full refund? He's like, you can see him in pictures, blah, blah, blah. No, just, in fact, if any of you guys sell on eBay, if there's any type of problem, it has to be listed in the description. A picture's not enough. I got burned with a Tomba 1 once, a Tomba video game PS1, because it had a drill, I think not for resale. They put like a drill hole in it. I didn't really notice it. And I had to accept a return because of that. And I've had to accept some stupid returns, like the dumbass idiot that bought those Treasury comics off of me. I had to accept that. So part of being on eBay, if you're a seller, you better be damn nice, because as a seller, you can't leave negative feedback. You can only get it as a seller. So anyways, there's my rambling. Sorry, I don't know if you clicked off the video already, but let's get into the actual comic books. So I get a lot of calls lately, like sometimes 4 or 5 calls on a Friday or Saturday. Really stupid stuff sometimes, like, hey, do you have Captain America 325? I'm like, even if I did, I'm not going through my long boxes to find you a fucking $2 comic book. Like, Raws go to the auction. I'm not a comic store. And the amount of people that show up here unannounced without saying anything, and they're like, I'm outside, and I'm like, there's really no other, like right at the top of my business, I'm like, this is by appointment only. But what are you going to do? Don't show up here. You know what I mean? Call first. I might not even be here. But anyways, this guy was like, hey, calls me, I want to bring some comics in. I'm like, yeah, how many? He's like 50. I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like, they're Silver Age. And I'm like, okay, what titles? Spider-Man, X-Men. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, sure, come on over. And I was expecting him in about an hour. And really quickly, the tariff stuff fucking sucks. I don't really know what's going on with this shit. But I was ready for it and put some money into the stock market the day of. So, and then literally a couple hours later, he called, and I became very cash poor this day. Let's just put it that way to start. So he shows up, really nice guy, Max, and I start going through this, and right on top is the Fantastic 448, which I haven't had yet. And I'm like, this is serious business. And I start going through it. And I don't know if you guys know what my holy grail has been that I've been really wanting. I almost got one for $9,000 a while ago, but it's an X-Men 1. There's a fucking X-Men 1 in there. My holy grail. Like, and I try not to lose my fucking mind on this. I'm like, dude, this is a nuts collection. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? He's like, oh yeah, my uncle and my brother have like an insane collection, like doubles of everything, Fantastic Four, 1, Hulk. I'm like, dude, contact me with your brother. They're like, and he's like, they will never sell. They just want to die with those collections. I'm like, well, keep me in mind when they do, not to be morbid. And yeah, it's just fucking insanity. And I'm going through here. You're going to see the type of books in here. Oh, my little baby boy. He's holding on for dear life. You don't want to be part of the video? You want to come up here, this is going to happen. You know everyone likes you more than me, right? They just come here for you. Do you know that? Okay, I won't torture him anymore. He just wants to be part of the video with his good old daddy. That's right. Thanks for helping. I don't think it's possible for him to jump up or down off anything without making a sound. It's kind of funny. So yeah, we're looking at this collection and I'm just like getting blown away by the keys in here. And I hadn't really even seen any collection like this yet. So we kind of, kind of feeling it out a little bit. Like, what's going on? What are you looking for? And he's like, I'm like, how much into this are you? He's like, well, I'm $5,000 in. I'm like, okay, cool. Where are you looking to be? He's like, I don't know. What are you thinking? And I'm like, hey, don't want to go too low. Don't want to go too high. So I just blurted out, how about 10 grand? He's like, sold. I'm like, fuck, okay. 10 grand is not a small amount of money. In fact, it's the most money I've ever spent in my life. I'm not like crazy rich, flush with cash, but so literally I had to bring them up here because I had about $4,000 cash. I'm a little bit cash poor right now. And so I had to e-transfer them the rest of it. We actually kind of brought it down a little bit once I kind of looked at the collection a bit more. We settled at $9,000, which was a good price. And before anyone says anything, I like to be transparent with pricing, usually 30 to 50%. And after tallying all this up, that was 45%. So it's definitely not ripping people off or nothing, whatever. Because there's always one of you guys in the fucking comments. And then actually just today, before making this video, he texted me and was like, hey, dude. And I asked him too. I'm like, you have any more? He's like, no. Oh, and he also told me that he sold the first Silver Surfer. And I was like, what? I'm like, the first Silver Surfer's here. He's like, yeah, I sold it just before I got here on eBay. I'm like, fuck. And I thought he meant 49. I'm like, I really wish he wouldn't have done that. But I thought he sold 49 because you need those two together, right? And so anyways, he texts me up today and I'm like, he's like, I got another stack if you're interested. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm kind of reeling from that last purchase still. I'm trying to recover financially, because I need a cash float for buying collections, right? I also don't want to end up on the street, like when I say cash poor, like if I have $10,000 worth of comic books, but no money in my bank, like who gives a fuck about how many comics you have? But anyways, I was like, yeah, sure, bring them over. And I even told the girlfriend I might need to dip into your bank account. She's like, yeah, no worries. But didn't come to that. So yeah, so he had a stack and I look at it and I'm like, okay, what are you looking for this stuff? He's like, oh, $8,000. I'm like, are you fucking retarded? Like, there's not $8,000 here. I'm like more in the $1,000 ballpark. He's like, oh shit. Apparently his brother told him there was like $8,000. And even when I went through and tallied all the books here, it was about 4,500 Canadian. And I'm like, that's the high end too. Like, so I talked him down, kind of showed him some prices. It's nice when people are actually like, not crazy people and actually understand that I have margins, right? And if you want to run a successful business. And he was also, he owns some property and stuff. So he's a 37-year-old, kind of my age, kind of go-getter, right? So we actually hit it off real good. And then he ran into his car and pulled out that Fantastic 449 that I'd been wanting. And I'm like, oh, damn. It turns out he sold 50, the ugly brown cover Silver Surfer. And I was like, well, damn. And yeah, so I offered him 1,500, you know, 500 for that book on top of the 1,000, and he was happy as a clam. E-transfer, and I'm the proud owner of those first Silver Surfer and Galactus books. Too bad we're having a fucking girl fucking Silver Surfer. No one wants that. We'll see if that Fantastic Four is good, but I have zero hope in Marvel these days. Anyways, side tangent, still kind of cool and still kind of hot. So yeah, that's how that whole collection went. Who knows if he'll bring me more stuff in the future. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the collection. Alright, so we're just going to get right in with the big boys. So I finally achieved my X-Men 1. As you can see, there's some pretty good dents in it. It is complete as far as I can tell. But I'm going to get a presser much more experienced than me to kind of repair it, fill in the holes. I don't even care if it's restored. It's probably not going anywhere. So it's about a 1 or a 2. I don't know. We'll see. But the first copy. Alright, and then so, like I said, the first time he brought in just this first, so this one's pretty nice, maybe like a 6 or a 7. There's a little bit of crud on the back, and then he brought in this the next week. I thought he said he sold this, but he sold number 50, and number 50 looks gross anyways. So another one that's probably not leaving the PC is the first Juggernaut. Pretty nice copy, maybe about a 5 or a 6. I don't really have much experience setting in stuff like that, so hopefully they're a little bit easier. This one's not really a key. I don't know why I have it up here. I guess just because it's an early X-Men, but X-Men 5. I don't remember if there's any key significance, but alright, and something else I'm probably going to get graded. I'm going to try and remove that after I practice a little bit, but this one's like a 1 or a 2 though, I think it's all. But it is the first Sandman. Someone decided to be an amateur artist in there too, so what are you going to do? Another one with that. I'm like, does this mean someone got these for 5 cents? Is that what that means? Back in the day? But yeah, first Lizard. Again, there's some like fucking scraping there, but I don't actually know the grade on that type of stuff. So another big boy, Hulk 3. Pretty crazy. Third appearance of the Hulk in 1962. I haven't really had stuff this old before, so it's pretty interesting. And Hulk 3. So might get all these graded. I'm not really sure yet. I got a lot of stuff to grade. So first Black Widow. Apparently she used to look like Cruella de Vil. So kind of interesting. And the first Hawkeye. Pretty neat. Honestly, his look didn't really change too much, which is kind of rare. Alright. Get these out of the way so we're safe. Alright, and now we got some very early Iron Man appearances. Pretty crazy. Second appearance of Iron Man. Debut of the gold armor. First Kala, Queen of the Underworld. And fifth Iron Man. First Melter. This one's a little rough. X-Men crossover with Angel. First Scarecrow. Second Black Widow, an origin of the Watcher. And the first Procilians. Good thing I wrote all that stuff down, because, yeah. Second Mandarin. Third Mandarin, an origin of Iron Man's suit. First Unicorn. Classic battle of Iron Man and Captain America. First Jarvis, and first solo Cap story of the Silver Age. Second Hawkeye.
First Agent 13 Sharon Carter, first Peggy Carter, and first Botrock the Leper, everyone's favorite. First cameo of Ultimo, first cover of Sharon Carter, and second Batro. This was a big one for 5 minutes. First Ultimo and first Peggy Carter. Now we're into the Strange Tales. First team up of Human Torch and Iceman, and first Captain Barracuda. First Nightmare, kind of cool. First Beetle and first crossover of Thor in Strange Tales. Sorry. Classic battle of Human Torch and the Thing versus Namor. First Dormammu, pretty cool to me. They even got him on the cover too. Cool. This was actually from a different collection, but I just threw it in. First Mentallo and first Fixer. I always thought that was a key for some reason, but it's not. First Jasper Sitwell, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. First Umar, first Marvel artwork by John Buscema. First cameo of the Living Tribunal. First team up of the Human Torch and Spider-Man. Strange Tales Annual. Now we're into the Tales to Astonish. So I'm going to try to get rid of the glare here. I think it's actually impossible. Alright. First Black Knight, Nathan Garrett. Crossover of Giant Man, Spider-Man, and the Wasp. Hulk reprint of number 6. First Major Glenn Talbot. First cameo of the Leader, first cameo of the Humanoid, and first cover of Chameleon. The back of his little head. Was he in that horrible new Craven movie everyone loves? First cover and second appearance of the Leader, and second Atuma. Debut of the new Giant Man costume. Sorry, this is dumb. Namor stories begin. First King Neptune and his trident. First Lord Vishanti. I don't think it was Lord Vishanti, actually. Classic battle of the Hulk versus Hercules. These are pretty nice condition, actually. Especially in the bags and boards. Makes them look real nice. Here's a big one for 5 minutes, too. First Abomination, first Bira. Remember when he had that, like, 5-minute cameo in Shang-Chi, whatever. Namor confirmed to be a mutant. Oh, yeah, we're into the X-Men now. Yeah, so number 5 should probably go in there, but yeah, kind of cool. That one's pretty tattered up, though. First Unas, the Untouchable. First Iceman made of ice, not snow. 9. First Lucifer, first battle of the X-Men and the Avengers. So, first Khazar of the Silver Age, first Zabu the Tiger, and first Savage Land. I was kind of like, is that a signature? Pretty sure it's not. There's also a little bit of scribbling over here. So. And first Stranger. At first I saw on the last one I took to the auction, I said the Strangler. I can't read, apparently. First, Sentinels. First, Master Mold. Second, Sentinels and Origin of the Beast. Third appearance of the Sentinels. key significance. Third blob, how Professor X lost his legs. I think that's Dracula, isn't it? Can't remember. Might not be. First Locust, that's never mind. First cameo of Kukulkan. First El Tigre. And then I just put first Kukulkan because it's not even on the Key Collector. And then they don't have this either, the second Mimic. I guess Mimic's not a big enough character to have second appearances. Alright, now we got some Amazing Spider-Man and more single character titles. So the second Vulture. First Living Brain and first Spider-Man vs. the Human Torch. Third Dr. Octopus. Cameo of Mysterio. Technically. First Spencer Smythe and Spider Slayers, and first cameo Mary Jane. Death of Crime Master. First Molten Man. Second Scorpion. Second Kirk Connors. I think that's like the first time he has like spider strength or something. I don't know. Second Gwen Stacy and second Harry Osborn. First Looter. Second Mary Jane, third Rhino, and first date with Mary Jane. Second Lizard. Third Lizard. First Wand of Watum, first meeting of Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Just to let you know, I had one of these the other day in the auction. I think it sold for $10. Fucking ridiculous. Okay, classic battle of the Avengers versus Namor. Too bad, like, it couldn't have 1 or 4. Just, I wonder if he took them out or if he knew. Probably not, because I would have paid him. But first, Lava Men. First, Ricky Jones and Bucky Barnes. So remember when this was kind of big? This one's kind of rough. That's why it's in here. But first, King the Conqueror. First Immortus and first Avengers Assemble. First Count Nefaria. Oh fuck, I need to fix that. Oops. I assume it was probably like that before, but bound to happen. First Ravana Renslayer. First Avengers vs. Doctor Doom. So this is kind of crazy. Like, so close. I need the first Daredevil just for my own collection. But second Daredevil, second Electro, and first Matt as the lawyer for the Fantastic Four. Guest starring The Thing, but it's a brief appearance. Don't blink your eyes, you'll miss him. What else could you blink? First Matador and redesign of Daredevil's chest logo. Also, apparently got spackled. Covered by Wally Wood from EC Comics. First Plunderer. First Anti-Metal, Origin of Plunderer and Origin of Khazar. 14. First Masked Marauder, first John Romita art on Spider-Man. First Gladiator. First Super Skrull, first Emperor Doric, and second Skrulls. Pretty cool. Classic battle of the Avengers and Fantastic Four versus the Hulk. First Dragon Man, second Diablo. Third Frightful Four. First Negative Zone, second Wyatt Wingfoot, and classic story apparently. Third Black Panther and first The Wanderer. Second Claw. I always thought that was a key, but apparently it's not. So now we're into the Thor. First Enchantress and first Scourge the Executioner. First Odin Sword and second Carmilla. This would be a good key if it wasn't torn up so much, but first Destroyer. First Thor Retitled from Journey into Mystery in a classic battle. First Hades, Hippolyta, Midgard Serpent, and Vola. And then the rest of the Greek pantheon. First Ares, Hermes, Hera, Dionysus, Artemis, Hephaestus, Herokin, and Tara Nile. It's a lot. First Ego, the Living Planet. First Count Tagar, and second Hela. First Ulik, second Sif. And then a bunch of Sergeant Fury. Not really any keys here, but... Okay. First Corporal Ricketts Johnson and Hitler on the cover. There he is. Can't see his mustache, though. My brother, my enemy. And then some random stuff. Fantasy Masterpieces 1. Not brand. Ugh. First cover of Four Bushman. And then Marvel Collector's item. Neat.
So yeah, actually, you know how I used to say, wow, wonderful, great, life-changing. This actually was a wonderful and life-changing collection. The amount of joy. Oh, and the X-Men 12, like I've wanted that forever, you know, like, and the X-Men 1, like it's just, that was like my two big books. If you asked me what I was looking for, it's always been X-Men villains. That's what I want. You know, I got the first Mr. Sinister, Omega Red, Iron Fist is over there. I sold the Chris Claremont signed one. And Juggernaut and Magneto. That's like the fucking shit. Oh, and First Apocalypse. I just have an 8.0 up there. It's not really for sale, but you know, it's just, that was always my collecting goal. So I guess my next big book is an AF-15. So once pretty much my plan financially is max out my TFSA, put that money on an S&P 500, like a VOO index fund. And then after that, once my TFSA is maxed, then I'm going to have some money to play with, put some money into Bitcoin, 10, 20 grand or whatever, and then buy a big boy comic like an AF-15, put that in a bank vault, and then maybe buy some gold. And then we'll see what happens from there. But that's my kind of long-term goal in this hobby. And yeah, it's fucking nuts how this X-Men 1 literally just walked into my house and I bought it with money. It's kind of wild. Like, I'm very grateful for the life that I've created with this comic business and really trying to provide a service to you guys and others. And I hope you enjoy my content. And yeah, it seems in the past, when I got my first Hulk 181, I got two more pretty quickly. When I got my first giant size, I got two more pretty quickly. And when I got, hopefully this X-Men 1, hopefully I'll get one or two of those pretty damn quickly. So anyways, thanks for joining me on this collector journey. Hope you found something of value today and had some of my enjoyment. And yeah, don't forget, every Monday at the auction house, the book's moving every day. And anything on my eBay, you're interested, hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or text me or whatever you want to do. Give me a call even. And we can usually go 10 to 15% lower on that, depending on what the book is. Anyways, Speed Metal Comics, don't get needy, keep it speedy. I haven't said that one in a while, but that is in fact my catchphrase. See ya.